Round, gather round. Pull up a chair. Sit on the floor. It is the 3rd of September, 2021. This show comes to you each and every day of the work week from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
This is Sexy Voice Andrea, and you're listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast. Now with 50% less kidney. Still with 100% of the only organ that matters. I hope it was good for you.
Thank you, Andrea. This is a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures every day of the week for going on 3 years. What happened? What happened? I'm going to bring in Bill Simonson in very early. He's a very, very busy man. He's probably getting ready to go golfing or something like that, or I don't know. Go on another date. He goes on like 3 dates a day with different women. Still in the eternal quest to find the next Mrs. Simonson. He'll take one young lady out. She has to be like under 30 years old. Out for coffee, and then he has a lunchtime rendezvous with another young lady. This is every day. He goes on 15 to 25 dates every single week as he searches for Mrs. Right. Very finicky. He's like a cat. You'd never know it, but yeah, Bill is not the type to be, taken advantage of by a young lady. He has to be very careful because so many women just want to be part of his fame and fortune as a world-renowned broadcaster on the radio. Nevertheless, I reached out to Bill because I cannot wait to call him out on his folly. He has been, ever since WWE Dan Campbell arrived on the scene, and I like Dan Campbell. I like a rah-rah coach. I really do. But when you announce to the world that you're going to be playing this 17-game football season, relying on things like grit, whatever the hell grit is, and toughness, and intangibles. You notice he never mentioned talent or good football players or football players that they're not picking up off the scrap heap and making like the star of the team. I've talked about this before. The fact that to start the training camp, they brought in numerous shitbag receivers. They said, all right, we're gonna give these guys grit and toughness and intangibles, and then they're gonna be awesome. And then the end of training camp, they cut them all, and then went around the waiver wire and made deals to get other teams' garbage. So they had shitty, and they picked up shittier. Now, I know some of you are like, I don't care about football, let alone the Detroit Lions. It's more about beating Knucklehead up over this ridiculous 9-8 prediction. What a jackass. And I give him credit for coming here on this show. Because, he kind of goes unchecked on his little radio show. With your 50,000-watt radio station behind you in West Michigan all of a sudden. This is a perfect example of radio. At the bottom one day, at the top the next. That's how it goes. One day, he's on a radio station that if I stuck my head out the window and screamed, more people would hear me than they would when Bill was with his old employer. It was so bad. But he toughed it out and made his way through it on little 1340 AM and on what's known as an FM translator. It doesn't even have call letters, 106.1. It's known as like WD00647.99 north-south 18 degrees. A lot of people were like, Bill hasn't even been on the radio in 2 years, 9 months. No. He was still doing his thing. And then all of a sudden, 50,000-watt ESPN, formerly known as ESPN in Grand Rapids, Michigan, part of the iHeart radio, a bunch of stations. They came a-calling and said, yeah, hey, why don't you bring the huge show over here? So we talked about that this week. But I cannot let go and have this be unchecked. His silly, nonsensical 9-8 for the Lions this year. The Detroit Lions, in addition to basically relying on what I said they're going to be relying on, grit, toughness, intangibles, wisdom. Is he going to throw that in? Things that don't matter. Are the second youngest football team in the whole league. So you're going from Matthew Stafford. We haven't even touched upon this. Matthew Stafford to Jared Goff. Now, if you ask any person who does fantasy football, they're going to pick Matt Stafford over Goff 10 out of 10 times. Goff, when he was successful in Los Angeles, had a amazing offensive line. Great running back who had a spectacular season or two, Todd Gurley. The Lions, seems like everything is suspect. You got some good players on the line, but it's not completely solidified. On the right side, you got a Penei Sewell who hasn't really played football in extended time, and he's just a rookie. I absolutely believe that Penei Sewell, who's like 9 foot tall, 450 pounds, an absolute stud, will be an amazing football player. But the poor dude hasn't played in quite some time, and all of a sudden he's playing against the best, the fastest, the brightest players in the world. How is he going to survive? I think Penei Sewell will be a fantastic football player. Just not right away. He predicted 9 wins, and I am not going to let him forget it. 9 wins, 8 losses. Let's bring in Bill with his fancy schmancy 50,000 watts of power behind him. Ugh. Oh, there you are.
Hey, you know what, man? Angry Zane is wonderful audio. Angry Zane is wonderful video. What the hell happened? Has your wife cut you off?
Well, yes. The short answer. And look at you. I'm assuming by the attire, it's a golf day today, isn't it?
No golf, man. Just helping the homeless all morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand you're doing a lunchtime endeavor at a restaurant called, is it Mission or The Mission? What is that?
Mission Barbecue, where they
Okay.
it's really cool theme where they salute first responders, firefighters, police, military. It's on East Beltline in Grand Rapids. There's locations across the state. It's all they do the national anthem every lunch at noon. I think that's I love it.
That is fantastic. And so you're going to be there today, correct?
Yeah, 3 to 6, first live
Oh,
broadcast with 96 won the game in Grand Rapids, going statewide. So it's always nice with the new station to do the first live away from station broadcast less than 3 days after you launched.
yeah. I was just talking about that. I don't know if you caught it at the beginning of this, that radio is a lot of times people will have the script flipped where someone who might be kind of toiling and kind of spinning their wheels because you had some hindrances with signal. And now all of a sudden you're on the biggest stick and arguably one of the biggest sticks outside of like B93 and all of West Michigan. That's pretty fantastic.
That's cool, man. And it's been, good with everybody there at iHeart. You know that. And then the reception from the people on the streets. But one thing about my live remote later today at 3 at Mission Barbecue on East Beltline, we've been partnering with the Grand Rapids 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb at Lake Michigan Credit Union Ballpark on September 11th. And they've done it the last 10 years where local firefighters, statewide firefighters, and people walk up and down stairs to replicate 110 floors from the World Trade Center. Now, I know you're running, you're a great athlete, triathlons. You should go do those stairs
Yes.
a week from tomorrow. You should.
That's a wonderful idea. That's a great idea.
You're an athlete, man.
No.
I'm here dressed to help the homeless today, and you should show up at LMCU Ballpark a week from tomorrow.
Look at that belly. Look at that belly.
You know what, Eric? There comes a point. Okay, let's be honest. Your children, you're empty nesting. You got 7 pets with one eye. So, your wife. Who are you trying to impress? If you put on a few pounds, who are you trying to impress right now?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Guys reach a point where you don't care if you're at the pool or the beach and you look like you're a pregnant male.
I couldn't agree more. It's funny. You talk about 9/11. You know what you would love? It's very sad, but you would love the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. I've been there twice.
Wow.
It's life-changing. It is. I cannot believe how amazingly well done they put this all together. I mean, the fact that you're there. I mean, you're in it. I was just there last month, and it is spectacular. If you ever get a chance to, it's actually, just to go see that is worth it for a weekend.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and I've seen your some of your photos and your trips where you guys go back east, and it's the 20th anniversary of one of the darkest days in American history, and I know that with Marty Board, Michigan Sports Network, and everybody, we wanted to try and bring attention and awareness to this stair climb at LMCU. Yeah. I might try and do it next year, but man, that says something about the firefighters and first responders. And if you remember from everything you've read, heard, and seen, they were going up the stairs, not knowing what was in front of them while people were going the other way. And that defines our first responders and our military and firefighters and policemen. And, I think firefighters, and again, it's not trying to, play favorites or talk about people, but I think in this country, in Grand Rapids, wherever anybody's watching this, I don't think firefighters get enough credit for their bravery. I really don't.
I agree with you, and it's I think it's important to kind of like take a pause when you realize these people are running into burning buildings on a regular basis.
Amen. We don't put our lives on the line. We get paid to give opinions. You're a great entertainer. We don't, there could be things that happen we can't control, but there are people who go to work every day, Eric, with families who they don't know if they're coming home. And that starts and ends in America with law enforcement, military, if they're on deployment, but mostly firefighters and military and first responders.
Bill, I want to touch on this, and that's all very, very sweet what you just said there, but you have said some horrible things recently on the Huge Show, and I want to know if you're getting buyer's remorse on the 9-8 prediction for the second youngest team in the NFL, your Detroit Lions, please, Bill.
Well, 9-8 people have to understand there's 17 games this year. I won't say buyer's remorse, but as the season gets closer, a week from Sunday, not second thoughts, not ripcording, but I have to take a deep breath and step back. That this was the preseason. They are the second youngest team. That can be good or bad, okay? But I didn't predict them to go to the playoffs. I predicted 9 wins. They added a game this year to their schedule. They won 5 last year with the worst defense in the NFL and the most overrated quarterback in NFL history in Matt Stafford. So they had a horrible coach for, 3/4 of the season in
Uh-huh.
Patricia. So when I say 5-9 with Campbell, with Goff, who's a better quarterback than Stafford, with Swift healthy, with the best offensive line. Sewell still has to learn how to play right
Hey,
tackle. What
wait a
I
minute.
couldn't believe when I came in, you were breaking down right tackle in the NFL, and I'm ready to call. Speaking of first responders, I'm ready to call an ambulance for Eric Zane that he's breaking
Well,
down right tackles in the
well,
NFL.
I believe it or not, I have been following Panay Sewell. I know he's switched positions, and he hasn't played. Actually, heard on your show yesterday. I forgot who the gentleman was talking about. He hasn't practiced since 2018, and for one full year, all he did was play games because he was a little nicked, and then he sat out for a year. So. This is all. There's a real learning curve for the young man. I love Panay Sewell. I thought it was a great pick. But if anybody thinks he's going to be a shutdown tackle, that might take a little bit.
Well, first off, when I heard Eric Zane on this live video feed and audio feed talking about Panay Sewell, my first thought was if Eric Zane said Panay Sewell, he'd go, "Yeah, I'd take it with marinara, not with Brady."
Idiot.
I mean, you're breaking it down. You know what you're doing now? You're listening to my show on the
I
game
am.
96.1, and you're taking all my info.
Well, I know. Yeah, I absolutely. I've been paying extra special attention to you and seeing how the launch has gone, and it's gone very well. But
Great.
I think that one of the things it's going to be bad when I was talking about this before you got in here, to start the training camp, they bring in a bunch of terrible receivers and then cut them all to bring in worse receivers.
Well, but actually, the Hodge that they got from the Browns is pretty good. That they just picked up, and they're the wide receiver depth. When there's an Amendola out there, but they want a new culture. They want there's that's why they're the second youngest team. That's why Stafford got traded, Eric. Let's be honest. They traded, and you see how many people love him. It's like 50-50, right? In Michigan. That some think he's as big as Gordie Howe, and others think that how in the hell did he ever last that long in Detroit? And they want a cleansing. They want a total cleansing. And I will say, I'll be honest, as this cleansing has gone deeper and deeper towards the start of the regular season, I do have a reevaluation team that is huddling this weekend at Camp Huge, and we're going to evaluate our 9-8 prediction.
Well, you better hurry because you got a week.
I know. I can come clean. I have until I'll say next Friday's show, which would be September 10th.
Yes.
The opener for the Lions is September 12th against the Niners. I do have a full week now, basically, and some change to reevaluate my 9-8 pick. But I will say, Eric, out of our years of knowing each other, I'm more impressed by your football knowledge this morning than at any time ever.
Bill, that's nice, but I know your tricks. You're trying to compliment me so that I will get off not letting you get away.
How about your text to me this morning? Hey, Bill, how you doing? Congrats, everything's going well. 96.1. Can you come on about your stupid ass pick?
Let me ask you this: If Bill Simonson is doing his fantasy football, and there's only 2 quarterbacks.
I want such a line with a 10-foot.
Well, let's say you have to pick quarterback, and there's only 2 remaining. One is Jared Goff, one is Matt Stafford for your fantasy team. Who is Bill Simonson going to pick? Goff.
Hey, I just heard on X's and Bros, which is, they talk about Michigan teams mornings 96 won the game. I just heard the guy talk about golf, in Stafford, and he's talking about what I've said, that golf has a better playoff resume. He's what, 26? He's not horrible. You saw the only drive really he played in preseason against a pretty good Bills first team defense. Matt Stafford, this love affair, with that some people, not me. He was good. He's not great. Obviously, playing the NFL, you're good. He's not great. Why? Okay, if he's so damn good, why would the Lions trade him?
Well, I think they got a lot for him. There's a tremendous amount of draft picks, and since
how do you know so much about the NFL now?
He is over 30, and I think that the way Brad Holmes is looking at it, he's not looking at 1 year repair job. If you look at maybe two, because if remember the Kansas City Chiefs. That first year with Mahomes, I think they won like 6 or 7 games, and then it was the next year that they really took off,
Well, and remember they traded Alex Smith, if you remember, the Chiefs did, and a lot of people didn't like it, and Mahomes came in. Golf's not going to be Mahomes. Mahomes is, I think, far and away on and off the field, one of the great superstars
I was just,
we've seen in sports.
I was just saying that's golf, the timeline that they might be, weighing on.
But the timeline is this, Eric, and back to my 9-8 pick. They expanded to 17 games, so normally that would be an 8-8 pick, because I think their extra game is Denver, and Denver doesn't have a quarterback. They have a decent defense, the Broncos. So basically, with the extra game, I'm saying there's 3 more wins because of Campbell, because of culture, because of speed on defense, because they're going to be able to throw the ball. You got to remember. They're going to follow what New Orleans did. So DeAndre Swift, if he can stay healthy, will catch a ton of balls like Alvin Kamara does with the Saints. Hawkinson will. You haven't seen that in preseason. I think the Lions fans have totally overreacted on the preseason. And then they still have this love affair. Like their long-lost girlfriend is now moving to California, and you want to have the long-distance relationship with Matthew Stafford. God.
I think I have a bit of a I don't know why, but I kind of this is weird because I love the Lions. I want them to win, but I also want you to fall on your face. So I am hoping Stafford goes undefeated and wins the Super Bowl, and the Lions lose every game, just so that, because the drama of you being annihilated by your audience would be fantastic.
At times I wonder why I even come on this damn show. I mean, you revel. Eric, why I love you. You revel in others' misery better than anybody I've ever met in my life.
All right, here's my huge prediction. The Lions will win 3 games this year. They will go 3-14.
So you're saying this team's going to be worse than last year's 5-11 team that was horrible?
Well, yeah, because 3 is less than 5.
Yeah, but why? Because what? Because Stafford's gone?
No,
I miss my little Stafford. Look, here's my little kitty. Kitty, do you miss Stafford?
This is why we need to be on the radio together, because I'm sick and tired of you with 50,000 watts and going unchecked, sitting there in your studio with people fanning you.
Total communist regime. Unchecked.
I am so thankful.
Because 50,000 watts, and now Zane all of a sudden is Adam Schefter from ESPN with all his NFL.
You need this, and I hope that it goes exactly as I predicted, so that I can rub your face in the dog doo-doo of that are the Detroit Lions. I love them, but they will win 3 games. And you know who's going to win the Super Bowl? The Cleveland Browns are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
By beating the Rams and Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl.
I haven't gotten that far. Now, that would be the best. That would be the absolute best.
I am, again, just to recap, because I got to run. I got a homeless West Michigan shelter meeting here in about 6 minutes. We're teeing it up, and we're teeing it up to help the homeless.
Oh, you are golfing. You are golfing.
No. We're teeing up the meeting. It's a meeting. It's not golf.
Okay.
We're teeing it up to help the homeless.
All right.
So Penei Sewell is not pasta, according to Zane. He's saying the Lions will go 3-14, and He basically MF'd me on a text and live on a video stream. Oh, happy Friday to everybody.
Yeah. There you go. Take that, and I'll be checking you out and your dumb show. Once again, with your stupid
Oh my
opinions
God.
going unchecked.
Please don't tell me we're doing the free beer flashback right now and we're revisiting the past. Is that now I'm on the game, 96 won the game in Grand Rapids, 3 o'clock later today. Stop out, everybody, Mission Barbecue. Even if you can't stop out during my show, stop out there for lunch. If you support America, the national anthems played, they salute with all the pictures of local firefighters, police department, military. It really is a cool place on East Beltline by Knapp's Corner.
Yep, absolutely. So enjoy the meeting with your other organizers.
Yeah. All the 3 other board of directors are pulling up here, so we're gonna help people.
You're gonna do that, and then you got an air check later on today, and then you're doing your show. So it sounds like a full day, Bill. Thank you.
I love you, Eric. Love everybody.
All right, talk to you down the road. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we'll see you, buddy.
The one and only Bill Simonson joining us right there. And you know what? That to me is like fantastic because these are horrible. The Lions are going to go 9-8. Let me read you a quote. I understand this is all very, very ultra focused on a topic here, and considering the podcast is heard everywhere, but you got to understand, I have had a love-hate affair with this team, and I love them. They're very, very important to me. And if they did win, well, hell, in even a playoff game, I might weep. It's that ridiculous. The last time they won a playoff game, I had just met Diana. I had just met my wife. In the long history of the Lions, which goes back decades and decades and decades, they have only won 9 games or more 12 times. And Knucklehead says this is the year where the average age is 24 and a quarterback that was good, but we're not so sure now, and wide receivers that don't have hands, and a rookie right tackle and a first-year coach. My huge prediction, Bean Garter prediction line, whatever the hell it is, 9-8 on the year. This, Lions general manager Brad Holmes. Apparently, Brad Holmes was approached by Director of Pro Scouting Rob Lohman because the Lions had just, Lions had just wiped out the receiving core that they had in at camp because they stunk so bad. And then Brad Holmes like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And Rob Lohman says, well, fear not. We need to make a trade. We need to unload draft picks to get, and he's like, it's got to be some stud, some Odell Beckham Jr., right? Is that, well, I want to make a trade. I want you to make the trade, Brad, general manager of the Lions, for wide receiver Trinity Benson of Denver. He was totally honest with Kyle Meineke, and he said, who the hell is Trinity Benson? So the guy making the trade is approached by the director of pro scouting. We need to get this guy as our big receiver, Trinity Benson. Who the hell is Trinity Benson? The Lions made that trade. They actually did it. Fuck. Call up Herman Moore and Johnny Morton and Dad Brett Perriman, and you'd have a better chance. They're going to stink. I think I'm going out on a limb, too, with the Cleveland Browns, but they were strong last year, and they almost got by the Chiefs. Almost. It was an amazing AFC Championship game. All right. There you go. Love having Bill on the show. Bill was not allowed to be on the show when he was working for Cumulus, because that would have been a little fly in the ointment. That would not have gone over well with the Cersei Lannister of radio. Redheaded B-lips. She would have woke up, put on her red wig, her 19 pounds of makeup, her 16-inch high heels. What do they call those things that hide the fat? Spats? And then waddled over into the radio station and barked at Bill. You cannot be on the Eric Zane Show podcast. By the way, on the Lost Zane recordings, there is going to come a day when that hag is going to be heard on those old recordings. Ugh. Just released a new episode of the Lost Zane recordings today. Posted it on Patreon, and I posted it on I posted a free view, about a 20-minute free view, on the usual spot for the free podcast, which I'm way behind already. I had to get to Bill early because he had his meeting helping the homeless people, and then he's got to go be chauffeured by his driver over to the radio station because he's top dog. Fucking pisses me off. Excuse me. I know what my problem is. Hang on. I want you to download the audio of this podcast, even if you don't listen to it. And I want you to do it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Bitcher, Castbox, Twatter, whatever the hell it is. I'm on all of them. Hit the subscribe button on the audio podcast. Do it on multiple platforms. It helps the show. I get internet points. So everything I say on this podcast, as you watch it live, is then posted to all of the podcast platforms. The live stream in the open, you can watch them on Facebook, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Share it, like it. Brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. A Periscope video on Twitter. Please retweet it with a snarky comment. That's brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And then on the almighty YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Bell notification. Thumbs up. You just got to search Eric Zane Show. You'll find me right there. And then you can watch on YouTube. That's brought to you by My Policy Shop Insurance. You're going to need help with your insurance. Medicare, buying from the marketplace, or maybe your employer's insurance. You can check that out at buyinsurancehere.com. Melissa says, are you Bill Simonson's driver? Smart ass. Patriot Nick says, find the Eric Zane Show podcast on the hub. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it's something sinister. I believe the garment that you use to cover your fat, ladies, those are called Spanx, which is what I want to do when I see a lady wearing Spanx. What a fucking thing. You put those on there, and then I don't know how it works, but instantly all those little spots that you don't like people to see, ladies, disappear, and then I want to spank because it makes it's so hot. All of a sudden, with just a pair of Spanx, you're 28 all over again. What an awesome thing. What I say, spats? Kenny asks, so is everyone worth a damn finally not working for Cumulus? Yeah, I don't know. I think Michelle's talented. I think Travis is talented. I think Tony is not at all. I think Rob Brandt is talented. I think Rachel and Jackie are talented. Kim St. James, talented. And these are all those people are people that I get along with. If I didn't mention your name, that means I don't like you. I noticed that I am not seeing the name on the Restream chat. Restream is a platform that I put this video podcast out on, and it spits it out to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And then whereas if Kenny on YouTube makes a comment, the people on Facebook won't see it, but I will. I see them all. So I had noticed that yesterday, near the end of the free podcast, there was a real degree of hatred flying out of one audience member's mouth, saying awful things, known as ENN Cognito, person behind a fake name who would participate in the show. That person can still watch the show, but they have been banned from making comments. It got off the rails with some really, and I didn't even know that I had the ability to put them in permanent timeout from making comments. But upon further inspection, with just a click, I can add to the block list in Restream chat. So, incognito, if you're watching right now and wondering why you haven't been able to make comments, which you said a lot of nice things in the past, and I always enjoyed your additions to the show. It got so ridiculously awful with the things you were saying to some of my other beloved friends and audience members that's it. You're out. Amanda says, you did that to me before. It wasn't the same. This is a little bit more thorough. So sorry about that, Ann, but you deserve that. You absolutely deserve that. Perhaps you will learn you cannot treat people like that. Only I can do that. Josh says, is that a 300-second ban? No. It's a full-on blocking to the comments. Kenny says, I still say what he said directed at you, Eric, was far worse. I never saw it, and I don't want to know. It's okay. Doesn't matter. It's over. All right. In my possession is this. Pest control, ultrasonic pest repeller, battery operated and portable. Pretty good reviews on this thing. I am going up north this weekend. No doubt the 1951 Pontiac Chief travel trailer on my property is loaded with mouse carcasses stuck in traps, mouse turds all over the place, and yet another reinforcement to the queen of the forest that she will never, ever spend the night in my trailer. I have to go to extremes to get these bastards out of the house. The mouse traps just kill them when they're inside of there. But walking into the place with 9 sprung traps with 9 mouse skeletons is not helping. They are somehow they are getting in. And I have looked high and low for the entry point. I have been on the underside of this trailer, on my back, looking for openings. When I find them, I bolt on boards onto the underside of the trailer at great risk. I encountered that fucking bald-faced hornet's nest, and they stung the shit out of me, and boy, do those hurt. They hurt so bad. Oh, God. So this supposedly works. It emits a high-pitched wail. I might need 2 of them. I should have purchased 2. I don't know why I only bought 1. It's like a 30-foot long, 35-foot long trailer. So old school. God, is this thing fantastic. So, yeah, that's part of what's happening this weekend. Going up north, we're going to take the camper Diana will not even go into this thing, into the old one. Kyle says, you need to take your cats up there. No. My cats those are indoor cats, dude. That is so not the same thing as a mouser. A mouser is entirely different. That's an outside cat that just loves to slaughter mice. Indoor cats, they don't know. They have some degree of an instinct, but it's not the same. They just want to play with the mice. And then they just occasionally I'll find a mouse carcass on the floor of the house here, and the cats will play with it till the little fucker has a heart attack, and then they just leave it there. When Buddy Bobcat Face was here, oh my God, every day he's bringing me a robin, bringing me a chickadee, a freaking finch, squirrel, rabbit. And then he would walk up into the garage, drops it. I'm like, all right, yeah, I see it. Good. You have to pat him on the head, and then you got to get the fuck out of there because he's going to consume it. The suggestion that he could be a Buddy Bobcat North Face. You idiot. Expanding spray foam insulation should stop the mice. Yeah, I know, but I got to find the opening. I don't know where the opening is. So that's weighing heavily on my mind. I just want to go up there and not have mice in there. Seriously. All right. The open and live stream of this shit show brought to you by Gift of Life Michigan. I just found out that there's a magazine that's actually called Transplantation Magazine, which is a national publication. I'm sorry, Transplant Nation Magazine. A lot of physicians read this, people who are on waiting lists, people who maybe have received transplants and it interests them. And your old pal Eric Zane is going to be featured in it. Let's see. Allison from Gift of Life, Michigan, says, Eric, I want to introduce you to Alexis with Transplant Life Foundation, or TLF. Excuse me. Damn it. I don't know what my problem is. They are based here in Grand Rapids. They serve individuals nationally and internationally. They have a great monthly publication called Transplant Nation, and they want to feature your story in an upcoming issue. She was also involved in the planning of the zoo event that I was part of last weekend. And says, one of the coolest people I know. I'll let you two take it from here. So that is fun. I'm very, very excited about that. So Gift of Life, Michigan. They heard my story after I gave the kidney away to Jeffrey, and they said, hey, we want you to be our media ambassador. Talking about life-saving organ donation. A little bit different because Gift of Life Michigan works with people who I'm just encouraging you to fill out a donor card. I'm not saying to you, hey, go ahead and give away a kidney. You know, that's a different, I guess, approach. This, though, is so much more less of an investment because all I'm asking you to do is fill out your organ donor card on your driver's license. That is valid. You write that down, you sign the damn thing, it's good as gold. They will do what they have to do to save those lives in the event that your passing occurs, which I'm guessing most of you or all of you, that is probably a long ways off, God willing. But when that happens, let's get those organs in people, young people, old people, families, moms, dads. Save those lives. You can also click on the Gift of Life logo at ericzaneshow.com. It'll take you to a little page. You fill out a few bits of information on their form, and that's all you need to do. That is all I'm asking you to do if you are within the sound of my voice. Please do that for me. That is extremely important. There are so many people on waiting lists, especially for kidneys. I just heard from Jeffrey, the gentleman that I donated that kidney to, which I still can't believe that happened. It's all a blur. It took 200 days. What did he write the other day? Every day I think of how amazing you are. I love you. He's super emotional. And I wrote, you are the best. I am so happy for you, and I think about you a lot. And then he's also got a couple of other health issues, and boy, I'm looking at him walk right now. This is fantastic. He could barely walk before. He had all sorts of other issues with his system that were related to having horrible kidney function. Let's just check out the T-shirt. What does this T-shirt say? Oh, Cousin O football. My God. There you go. Thank you, Gift of Life, Michigan. Okay. I also heard from somebody yesterday. It's Zane, you can't be trying to cherry pick school bus drivers to drive for affordable limousine. Excuse me. I'm having a horrible time. I got to get a drink of water. Stand by. All right. I hope that helps. I'm tempted to throw in the towel on this because my throat is so stupid. Zane, you can't go and try to get yellow school bus drivers and get them to apply at buscareers.com with affordable limousine. And I go, why? Why not? Well, there's already a shortage of bus drivers, and that's a huge need. And I'm like, dude, didn't you see the film Cinderella Man? My heart is with my family. My balls and my brains are with business. Bullshit. They want to keep the people driving buses when another organization says, hey, why don't you drive for us and make twice the money? What the hell's wrong with that? It's up to them to decide what they want to do. So let's say you're a bus driver, yellow school bus driver, and, or maybe even a transit bus driver for the city in Grand Rapids. And you got your $16 to $18 an hour you're earning. Why don't we take that rate and make it, I don't know, $26 to $35 an hour? How does that sound? Because that's a reality. You have earned a CDLB with passenger endorsement. You have that. Okay? And you're an experienced driver. Wouldn't it be nice to A, work when you want to, and B, make that much more money? You can have that if you go to buscareers.com with affordable limousine. Now, what do you mean by work when you want? This is basically how it goes. The other day, they reached out to me. They go, hey, can you do this job? Let's see. Coming up on Thursday at these times in the afternoon. And all I write is yes or no. If I write no, they go to the next driver and run it by that person. If I say yes, they send me the details of it. At the time I'm supposed to go, I go over to the garage where the nearly 40 vehicles are in place. Some buses, some trolleys, some shuttles, some limousines. And I'm dressed up in my gay magician costume, black tie, white shirt, vest, looking like $1 million. Get into the air-conditioned limousine, and off I go. I do not have my CDL. If I did, it would be absolutely even more opportunities. So this is gold. If you're an experienced CDL B driver with passenger endorsement, what are you doing? Just go to buscareers.com and fill out the form. These jobs are going to go fast, so do it right now. If I'm still talking about it, that means that they have a need. Part-time, full-time, affordable limousine, and you're going to be doing corporate trips. You could be doing trips to the Tigers game or the Red Wings game with a bunch of people who then you drive them back safely like you always do. And then you know what they do? They take all the money that they have and they throw dollar bills at you. I've witnessed this. Yesterday, I had a party that I'll talk more about in a second here, and this dude gave me $150 for a tip. $150. You can't go wrong with this. It's a great job. And what they did was Affordable just brought in a brand new general manager and CEO. His name is Ben. Nice guy. And because Justin owns it, and Justin is kind of like run ragged with 1,000,001 things to do. He likes to have his hands in with the dispatching and the getting the drivers. He's a very active owner. Ben's job is to increase their footprint with more drivers. So they came to me and said, we want you to start talking about this on the podcast. So I'm telling you, don't let me down. If you got a CDLB driver with passenger endorsement, you're an experienced driver with those things, CDLB with passenger endorsement, go to buscareers.com. I know I'm taking a lot of time on the sponsors, but sometimes I do, and that's kind of the beauty of the podcast. Okay. Yesterday we had Let's Kill with Kyle. Not the other Kyle. Not the other Kyle that's kind of referenced time and again here on this show. If that were the case, it would be let's put our wieners into kids with Kyle. That's totally different. Not the same thing at all. Let's Kill with Kyle. Brought to you by Dumpster Divers. If you are in West Michigan and you need a dumpster, the best dumpster, not all dumpsters are created equal. Kyle's dumpsters, first of all, don't look like shit. They're not super long as your driveway with a U-shaped bottom. They're compact, short. They hold as much as those big, honking, ugly, long dumpsters, and you will pay less than the big, ugly, long dumpster because the amount of weight that you can put into a dumpster diver's dumpster puts you at a certain price point. The other guys don't do that. They charge you the higher price point that you can't possibly get that amount of weight into the dumpster. So you're getting screwed. You're paying for something you don't even need. Call or text the folks at Dumpster Divers today, 616-375-9962. If you see Kyle or Emilio, honk, wave at them as they are delivering dumpsters down the road in their Dumpster Divers vehicles. Yesterday, as I indicated, I was out on the road. I appear to be the king of young people birthdays. I've seen a lot. Most recently, I had the 6 and 7-year-olds for a birthday. I detailed this story that were picked up by me with the quote-unquote cool aunt to these kids. Well, I didn't know that cool aunt meant she was going to play music. This is always a problem. Play music with all sorts of nasty words. Now, I can see middle schoolers playing songs with nasty words. It happens. There was the one where there was middle schoolers and kids started playing There's Some Holes in This House, There's Some Holes, the WAP song. And not all the kids were on board with that. You had half of the kids were loving it and the other half did not. You know that the ones, these are very young, well, middle school. And then the song finished and one of the kids who's not going to be promiscuous says, this is nasty. You guys are going to get in trouble. There's a pocket of good kids who are like, oh, boy, I don't think we should be doing this. And the rest of they're all girls. And then the rest of them who no doubt are going to be, well, I can't even make the joke, but you can just kind of get an idea. They might be those girls in high school. Like, this is good. This is a good idea. And I'm right fucking there. There's some holes in this house. 13-year-old kids. Well, the cool aunt didn't play that, but she played a lot of other things. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I've seen it all. This one's not going to be bad, though, because the mom of one of the kids is chaperoning. Thank God. See, they can't get into my car if they're that young and they don't have a chaperone. Because they, it's just, it sets you, it's kind of like a risk. What if I'm like a creep or something like that, Kids get in. Before that, I'm late. I look at the clock. I got to be at this person's house at 2:30 in the afternoon. I get out of the shower here in this house, and it's 1:53. I still have to drive 15 minutes to the garage, get the keys, get the directions, jump in the car, take off, and travel 15 minutes to get to the pickup point. So I'm like, normally I drive like a stupid old man that I am. Not this time. I am braking when I'm in my truck, going to the garage. Every law there is, except for running red lights. I'm just weaving in and out. I normally don't do that at all, but I'm like, oh my God. And I have all I have on is black pants, socks, shoes, and a t-shirt. My button-down white shirt is next to me. My tie is next to me. My vest to complete the gay magician ensemble is there. And I'm driving with my knee in the truck, buttoning the shirt, doing the tie. I'm like, oh, my God. But I'm doing it. I'm making up for lost time. I get the lights. I'm not getting stopped at every light. This is awesome. I get there. I hit go on the directions. I'm in the limousine. It says I'm going to get there magically at 2:29. I had to call my pickup and ask a question. And it blew my mind when the guy picks it up. He goes, hey, Zane. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I go, hey, yeah, I just want to make sure it says your address is Byron Center, but it's coming up as Wayland. That it's the same, right? He goes, yeah, I'm kind of caught in that Wayland, Byron Center, Wyoming, Bermuda Triangle area. Yes. And I go, okay, great. And I go, so have I worked with you before? He goes, yeah, you have. You actually took us out for, I don't remember what the hell it was. But then as I'm pulling up, I remember where I am. I was like, oh, yes, this group was great. This is fantastic. Get these kids. Off we go. I actually just the mom it's me and the mom in this super stretch limo. Go to one school. I go to a school and pick these kids up. Can you imagine the clout that these kids have now? It's a birthday party, and they're doing something special for the kid, picking them up in a limo, going to get ice cream, and then going to Craig's Cruisers, which is one of those amusement center places. You pull up at the school, and all these other parents are there, and the big roundabout thing, and I'm in this super stretch. Can't even get it in a roundabout. It's like, all right, come on in. All these kids pile in. We got to go to another school, pick up more kids. Off we go to ice cream. Then drop them off at Craig's Cruisers, which what a fantastic place that is. It's way different now for those of you that live in West Michigan. So it always was a cool place. So that was it. Now I have to drop each individual kid off at their home at the end of the night. This is where it gets weird because on my it's a physical sheet list of where I'm going. I don't have my glasses. I only need my glasses to read. There's so many drop-offs that they've used a small font on the fucking sheet. Normally, they don't use that small of a font. It just says drop off this address. But I've got like 10 drop-offs. And it's like the smallest font ever. And so I'm squinting, and I think I got it. So I put it in into my GPS, and then I show up in this neighborhood, and there's no address because I've read it wrong. I'm like, oh, no, this is terrible. So everybody's like looking at each other like, well, this isn't my house. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, I accidentally just I think they knew what was up, and that was confirmed a little later. I think they knew that I'm blind when I'm reading shit. And I think if this isn't a wake-up call, I don't know what is. All of this scenario is so fucking embarrassing. So then the kids see me. I take my camera and I take a picture of the hard copy. And then I like open the fucking image and I'm like, expanding the picture. And I'm like, oh, God, okay, the next one is 4434 Powder Face Lane or whatever. I don't know. So then I get it right. And then they notice that as I'm getting to each location, I'm like looking for numbers on mailboxes and looking at houses, and it's dark and I can see far away, but darkness, it's just all old. Everything here is because of age. And then kids, they said there was that thing, kids say the darndest things, meaning basically kids will say whatever they want. Kids are like old people. You know how old people, they don't have a filter? Well, kids don't either. When you're in the sweet spot of life, you have a filter. Kids don't, adults don't, or really old adults don't. And I can't wait for that. When Wally talks, I'm like, I can't wait till I can be 80 something years old and just say whatever the fuck I want. It's just horrible. So, I'm looking at the houses for this, drop this one kid off. And then finally, and they're listening to like whatever, Imagine Dragons in the back. They can't even hear me. So I like wave at him and I go, is this, am I close? Is this the right house? And the kid goes, it's right there. I go, okay, thanks. It seems like no one has the numbers on their mailboxes. And then as quick as a snap, she says, and God strike me down if this is not true, hand to God, she said 4 words, or you can't see. I'm like, yeah, nobody puts the house numbers, and they did. I just couldn't see them. They were there. Or you can't see. Oh, fuck. I didn't say anything. I just felt like a dick. Oh, no. So I think the hour is here. That this needs to be a regular thing, wearing glasses. I can't read anything and I can't see anything at night. I suck. If my bosses if Justin and Ben at Affordable are seeing this, they're right now texting, yeah, you can't come back till you have glasses on. Sorry. You're an asshole for even waiting this long. Stand by. Holy shit. If you are a fan of Compound Media, where I was on with Anthony Cumia, my pilot episode of the Eric Zane Show podcast for Compound Media will be up soon. I wasn't waiting like it, where is it? And what, you told me you were going to post it. No, I just assumed it was going to be right around more closer to Labor Day, like a lot closer, like Labor Day itself. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just excited to be on that platform. So if you are one of a show member who found out about me through Compound or whatever, or maybe you have a Compound subscription, if you go to Compound Media's website and there's a spot where it talks about other shows or collections of shows, and one of those says Pilots, and that is a group that did a show for them to see what the response from the audience would be. That's why they do those. And if it does well enough, well, then they bring you back for another show. So I'm encouraging you all to check it out. If you have to, sign up for the freebie. You can sign up for 3 days, just cancel it. I'll let you know via social media when it is officially available. Check it out and then drop a note to the world famous E-Rock that, hey, you need to keep the Eric Zane Show podcast on Compound Media. E-Rock sent me an email. He says, sorry, I haven't gotten this up yet. I was a flood victim. The Northeast is a shit show. Dozens dead. The South, same thing. Decimated. Many dead. E-Rock said, yeah, my place got flooded. I go, oh, Jesus, dude. He goes, yeah, I'm finally just starting to catch up on things. I go, well, don't even worry about it. I trust you. You told me you were going to post it. I'm totally fine with that. Do what you got to do. I could not believe that there have been people that have died since this hurricane hit for one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard. There have been numerous people hospitalized or killed because they get their hands on a portable generator and then they bring them in the house and then they turn them on. It's baffling to me that someone who's so stupid could even manage to get a generator started. If you're that dumb to bring a portable generator indoors, well, I mean, that's all anybody that's why you live in a spot where hurricanes hit yearly. Again, all these people that live in spots where their homes are destroyed every year. These are America's dimmest people. Make no mistake. I say that unequivocally with no shame whatsoever. The country's cumulative IQ is forever in the shitter because of the scuzz people that live where natural disasters happen. The same idiots are, not only are they stupid because they live there and then every year they move 2 miles and rebuild. How horrible is that? And for what? It's not, I mean, these aren't like wealthy people. Okay? Taking a generator and bringing it indoors. How can you be so stupid? The smell of the exhaust is enough to make you go, I think we might have done something wrong here. Or are they just like rolling the dice that it won't affect them? The headline reads, 12 hospitalized with carbon monoxide poisoning due to generator use. 7 children included in that because they brought the fucking generator indoors. Okay. While they're hospitalized, the local agency that does this needs to come in, and as soon as the adults are able to communicate, you need to give them papers that say their parental rights have been terminated. And then while they're under anesthesia, make it so that they cannot bear children anymore. That is the only outcome. FEMA should do it. It shouldn't even be a doctor. You should just have some FEMA guy who, with a fucking sword or something, cuts the lady open and yanks out her uterus. You cannot reproduce anymore if you are such a fucking animal that you bring a generator inside and say, kids, gather around the generator. They probably thought the generator was the actual air conditioner. That's why these stupid idiots are bringing it in, because it's so fucking hot. Again, why would you live there in New Orleans, this fucking swamp, that they're bringing a generator inside to power their air conditioner? What the fuck is going on? This guy was not as stupid, but still stupid. When you have a generator, it must be, in a spot outdoors with no open windows near it or anything, or no spots where the carbon monoxide can easily seep into the house. Fuck. On the RV in my driveway right now, do not open this window when generator is running. You will die. I can read. I know that. If that window is opening, there's carbon monoxide from the generator on the RV coming in. It's what the fuck? 3 people died. A woman and her 2 kids set up the generator against an outside wall of their house. So it was outside. So there's a little bit of excuse there. At least it was outside. How is it that the lady who had the generator outside of the house dies, but the fucking idiot who brought the one in, there's still people alive? Absolutely horrible. My God. All because of this ridiculous hurricane that blew through, which a lot of people are blaming on global warming. Holy shit. All right, folks. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, 616-532-6600. Servicing European, Asian, and domestic models. Virtually everything. You might want to skip the Volkswagen. They don't want your VW trash. But this is the most trusted repair facility in all of West Michigan. All the other guys are like, oh my God, I hope no one finds out about Irvine's. I hope Eric Zane stops talking about it on his damn podcast because they're taking all of our business. People drive from all over West Michigan to get their cars repaired at Irvine's. You know, a lot of times the car repair business that's like, people will put them up in various areas, parts of town, hope that the people will just gravitate there because that's the closest one. Not Irvine's. People drive from all over West Michigan, as far as Muskegon and beyond, to get their cars repaired by this facility. Family, veteran, lady owned. Okay? Jamie is part of the family. She is the veteran, Air Force, and the lady who is the big swinging dick at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. And you go in there and you see her cheery smile, or maybe the multi-talented, lovely Megan is there, and my God, are you in good hands? Don't even worry about it. Thank you to Irvine's, ERVINES, Irvines.com. We're talking mortgages. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. If you are anywhere in the U.S. with the exception of Maine, South Carolina, Alaska, or Hawaii, get a mortgage, or at least get information about a mortgage from Mario. That's all I ask you to do, is just keep him in your shopping for a mortgage. And make sure you get pre-approved, no matter what you do. Whether you use Mario or you don't, make sure you get pre-approved. And when you get pre-approved, when you start shopping for houses, this is a pro tip. Don't look for a house with a price tag the same as your pre-approval, because the market is such that every one of these home buys, these home purchases are a result of a bidding war. Okay? You're going to be duking it out with people trying to buy the same house. So if a house is listed at 180, it's going to go for 200. Call Mario, 231-332-6505. And again, whether your credit is impeccable or in the shitter, Mario wants you. Not every mortgage guy does that, but he helps you whether your mortgage, your credit score is 550 or 750. And then there's Blue Frost IT. You know, it's been a great year. It started with them winning the award from their peers in the managed IT / contract work fields of IT. Okay. They have a symposium every year here in West Michigan where all of these similar businesses vote on the number one. You cannot vote for yourself. Unanimous choice from their peers, Blue Frost IT. So if your business needs an upgrade, retrofit, moving the office, new construction, wall jacks being installed, project work, you need to talk to Alan from Blue Frost IT. Call 616-200-8550 or reach out info@bluefrostit.com. And then, of course, there's the managed IT service provider aspect of their business. Thank you so much to Blue Frost IT. Eric needs to pee. I've got show and tell coming up for you. I will tell you about the Barbed Wire Challenge, and I'll be able to play you the audio video of that. And our beloved NFK is in the news here at the household. My brother-in-law, No Filter Kevin, the NFK, not to be confused with the SFD. That is a beloved friend and audience member, formerly known as Boring Dean, now known as the SFD, which stands for Sick Fuck Dean. Fucking sick fuck. Holy shit. All right. I'll be back after I take a pee. Don't go anywhere. Stand by. Okay, where are we? Excuse me. So, yesterday, here at the house, unfortunately, I had to suck it up. The NFK needed that haircut. That's part of the reason why I was late, nearly late with the limo work, because I was like, okay, I gotta just suck it up and do this. As I've detailed before, in case you're new, he has a bad case of dermatitis, dandruff, and it's horrible. It is it's one of the worst things ever. It's so remarkable how awful it is. I've got a long list of things I would rather see than when I see his scalp meat gumming up the clippers to reveal pink flesh underneath it, starving for oxygen. That list includes Texas abortion bucket. Fuck that joke up. 9/11 jumper aftermath. These are all things I would rather see than scalp meat gumming up clippers. Dead puppy salad. All right, Kevy, let's wash your hair. Sticks his head under the sink. He's been using, apparently, now remember, Diana had a talking to him about taking showers every other day. Now, I've been suspecting that that's been dropping off. I've been concerned about that. But I washed his head, sat down, I gave him the haircut, and it looks better. The medicated shampoo, Head and Shoulders or Selsun Blue, those, they have medicine in them, and that helps. So this was a huge relief for your old pal, Eric. And so simply, the hair falls off. I trim his eyebrows. I trim in his ears. I trim his nose. I trim his neck. It's perfect. Easy. Wednesday of this, well, just this last Wednesday, 2 days ago, Diana had purchased for him some more hygiene supplies. Okay. Now, again, this when Diana and her cousin Mimi actually had this is how it is. This is how fucked up this is. The fact that you have to have an intervention about asshole washing, not about heroin, not about cocaine, not about drinking, not about smoking, not about porn addiction. No, addiction to having a filthy asshole. That's the type of interventions we have at this house. It's fucking ridiculous. He started to cry at his own intervention. And I think it's because they said, look, we don't even think you realize this, but you can actually get very, very sick because of the filth on your body. So he dove in. He's been doing it. But we sense an issue because Diana bought him all these other products and they're still untouched in the shower area. So she says, well, and she's like, she's been very aggressive about this. And I give her credit because she usually has been in the past. She didn't want it to be awkward, but not, now she's like, fuck that. If you're going to be in my house sitting around here and your asshole's filthy, bullshit. You stink. She goes, I think I need to give him a little pep talk, a little refresher course on asshole washing. I go, yeah. And she says, this stuff has not been touched. So I've had it. I go, and so I'm like, yeah. So thank God she does it. Thank God. So I'm waiting to hear how that goes. She's actually here at the house today. I wonder if she can take a phone call. Al says, just like that, breakfast is done. The term scalp meat always has an impact with the audience. Let me see if the Queen of the Forest is available. I know she's, like I said, working from home today. Available for a chat? Question mark. Or can you not get away from your training? Question mark. Totally fine if you cannot, period. All right. I always get a strong reaction from the audience whenever I describe the horrible thing. And this is what I see on a regular basis. And, I was so impressed because I'm running the clippers across the head. And all I have is hair. If all I have is hair, I am good to go. She cannot join us. But when you see, moist skin chunks actually causing the clippers to slow down, that's a place you don't want to be. Tyler says she's too busy cooking up some more Zoom farts. That's exactly right. And then the SFD says, I miss my Pooh Bear. Yeah, stay away, you fucking rapist. What the fuck is wrong with you? Sick fuck Dean. Jesus. All right. I need to share with you something fantastic. This comes to us. Rebecca sent this along. It's known as the Barbed Wire Challenge. The question here is why? Okay. You should be able to hear this when I play it. The tweet reads something to the effect of, dog, the white folks just upped the ante. They saw y'all walking around on crates and said, hold my beer. So what you have here, if you're just listening to the audio podcast, I'll include the link in the show notes, but for the folks on the live stream, they're going to watch this with me. All right. Shithole house. Looks like a wood pile over here. Overgrown, set up. A trampoline with no, the part of the trampoline where you jump? That's gone. Replaced with tons of barbed wire to make almost like a surface that you would, in fact, land on. You would not fall through. All right. Dozens, or I'd say hundreds of lengths of barbed wire strewn across tight where around the frame or inside of the frame of the trampoline. So this asshole is on a ladder, like a gigantic WWE ladder match type of ladder. And he's going to go the spot where it says, do not step on here. And he's going to be on top of there, and he's going to do a Jimmy Superfly Snuka through the air and land and destroy his body in the barbed wire. What? Martin describes it as Mick Foley wannabes. Okay. Here we go. The barbed wire challenge. Listen to these redneck fucks. I can't even watch. Oh, my God. I like the guy. We got to get you out carefully. Yes. Okay. Yeah, like now is the time to be meticulous in your planning. Forget the fact that the guy shirtless guy just jumped off of a ladder onto barbed wire. Okay, now I don't see like wounds yet. What? Wow. Is he I don't know. Perhaps he like the NFK hadn't bathed for a long time and he's become like a candy shell. Oh. Wow. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at the guy. He goes in the air. This guy's blowing vape smoke over here. This fucking idiot with the beard. Oh, God. Wow. That is so fucked. Oh. The second bounce got his rat's nest tangled in the barbed wire. Getting a lot of Mick Foley. Yeah, I would say Mick Foley is that's nothing compared to this. Holy shit. Yeah, I need follow up on this to how badly this guy was hurt. What the fuck? Oh, man, people are so stupid. Absolutely incredible. Phew. All right. I do want to remind you that I am on Cameo. I usually get one of these, one or two of these done a week. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. If anybody needs a roasting, anybody is a fan of the show, maybe they need some congratulations. I can be as sweet or as mean as you want me to be. And I can even do it live while I'm doing this podcast if that's what you want. It's basically you hiring me. It's like OnlyFans, but no porno. Okay? I will do whatever you want in terms of a roast or any type of message for someone, young and old, lady, man, whatever you want. You want the Queen of the Forest in the Cameo? You want the NFK in the Cameo? That would be new. I've never done that. I would love to have the NFK in on a Cameo, which I would probably be. You would probably want me to say something that would. I'm not going to embarrass him, okay? So I'm not going to sit next to the NFK and say, hey, Paul here wants to know why you don't wash your asshole. I'm only going to embarrass him behind his back, okay? That's how he pays me rent, for allowing me to tell. Well, he doesn't really allow me. He doesn't have a choice. I just fucking do it. Anyway, I digress. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. Thanks to Frank Fuss at My Policy Shop Insurance. Okay, so he's an independent insurance agent. And you're like, well, I get insurance from my employer. Yeah, I know. First of all, when that time of year comes around, you might just want to call upon Frank to make sure that everything is on the up and up, because he's a nerd and loves insurance. So you say, hey, Frank, what do I do? And then he helps you. You go to buyinsurancehere.com. Now, you won't be buying insurance, but still, you get his expertise, and it's free. Now, if you're buying insurance from the marketplace, this is non-negotiable. This has to happen. If Medicare is in your future in the next 6 months, you're turning 65 in the next 6 months, or one of your loved ones or friends is at that point, this has to happen. You have to do this. Do not go that route alone. Buying it from the marketplace, Medicare. Hands down, do not try to do this on your own. You will screw it up. Frank's, God, he's amazing. The fact that I called him last week, I go, hey, man, Diana's got insurance from her employer, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep my marketplace insurance. You can, Eric. Why? Because that's illegal. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's one of the things that in the, you can't. You have to use her insurance. I go, well, okay, I'm confused. What do I do? He goes, you don't have to worry about it. I'll take care of it. That's what I'm here for. Buyinsurancehere.com. Go to that website. Just fill out the form, and then you will start a dialogue with Frank, and all of this is free. Oh, my God. How fantastic is that? You must do this. And if you're the type of person who doesn't want to leave anything to chance, like, for example, if you're on Medicare, sometimes Medicare doesn't cover everything for what your needs may be. Well, you give Frank a few bucks, and you're going to get a supplemental insurance policy. That's how it works. Okay. Buyinsurancehere.com. All right, we are in the midst of two amazing comics in town this weekend. Full House Comedy. FullHouseComedy.com is where you go. FullHouseComedy.com. It says click here. Tonight, you got Eddie Griffin at the Park Theater. That is going to be fantastic for 2 shows. And then you have Mitch Fatel tonight, Rockford Lanes, for 2 shows. Tomorrow, Eddie Griffin is back at the Park Theater for 2 shows. Mitch Fatel will be at Back Alley Comedy Club in Muskegon, part of Sherman Bowling Center. So there you go. No matter where you are, Holland area, Rockford area, or Muskegon, go see a comedy show. You see, Full House Comedy is everywhere. Skip grins. You've gone there enough, okay? Try comedy with these 2 headliners this weekend, either Mitch Fatel or Eddie Griffin. FullHouseComedy.com. Buy a ticket. Let me know. Big Dick Donnie will send you a picture of his dick. No one's taken me up on that yet. Big Dick Donnie is my pal, Don Veltman, who is the owner of Full House Comedy and also the owner of Howard City Lanes. The pandemic was very rough on him, so he has been working very hard to get back on his feet by bringing all these great shows to town. And by the way, while you're at FullHouseComedy.com, you can take a look at the upcoming shows, including that Mick Foley spoken word show. I'm really excited about that. Let's see, that would be September 30th at the Pyramid Scheme. That's put on by Full House Comedy. Chris Kattan will be at Billy's Lounge and Back Alley Comedy Club in Muskegon in October. Paul Rodriguez is coming. Yes! Paul Rodriguez will be at Billy's Lounge, Back Alley Comedy Club, Muskegon, and the Park Theater. Michael Winslow, that's a guy who makes funny noises with his mouth. He's still very, very funny and entertaining. Rob Little. Yes. Look at you go, Don. Man, this guy is just killing it. He's booking so many shows. Wow, he's already into March of next year, April. God, Hal Sparks, Stuttering John's pal. Man, look at this. You get all these shows at fullhousecomedy.com. All right. A couple more loose end shows, or loose end stories at loose end shows. What an idiot that I wanted to get to. Okay, this is why China is kicking our ass. Have you ever, you've seen him coming a mile away, the kid who plays video games for 18 hours a day, every day. The parents worry about those kids. Real life is non-existent. They stay in all that time. Their skin is white. They don't eat well. They don't sleep well. They're addicted. That's the case everywhere. If you're a parent that of a kid who plays too many video games, to me, that's like having a kid addicted to drugs, in my opinion. It seems very much like I'm serious here. Like if that were me and my kid was playing video games that much, I would be like helpless, because if the kid, you take it away, that's the old tough love scenario. It's tough for parents to do that. So I understand. But you got to do it, because the kid's going to have it's almost like Jesus. The rest of the world is moving on. It's all of the kids who play video games. It's kind of good, because it's double-edged sword, good and bad. It has lowered the bar, the expectations for employers, so that when my kids who aren't addicted to video games go out into the field, they're looked at as amazing, with even just the bare minimum of abilities. Because, my kids, they're all a little dim to begin with. I'm totally kidding. Knowing full well that my daughter Jacqueline will hear this. Jim played video games for a little bit, to a point that was kind of screwed up. In fact, and I'm going somewhere with this, because in China they're making some changes. But we had some real learning curve moments with Jim. School was not for Jim. Maybe it will be one day. He's only 26. But he's making his mark in the logistics world, not manufacturing. Jim moves shit for people. What does that mean? Well, right now, gigantic companies in and around where we are here have no place to put the raw materials for whatever they build. So they store the material, bolts, nuts, parts to cars, in a warehouse. That's where Jim comes in. That shit needs to be stored, cataloged, and put in an appropriate place for when whatever business needs it. Jim's the guy to make the business move. But there was a time when Jim didn't want to do that. I don't want to go to school. It's not for me, Dad. I go, okay, I get it. That's fine. I wish you'd told me before I paid all that money for the tuition, but okay. At least we're figuring it out now. So I'm thinking, I want to be an electrician, or I'm going to be a contractor, or I'm going to be a plumber, I'm a mason. And I'm thinking to myself, finally, we're getting somewhere with this young man. I go, well, what do you want to do, Jim? I'll help you. I'll facilitate you as best as I can and encourage you. I want to be a professional video game player. And I'm like, you're fucking dead to me. What? No. And I'm not one of these cock parents who sits there and goes, oh, goody. I'll support you in whatever you do. No, bullshit. Bull fucking shit. A professional video game player? You fucking asshole. The fuck is wrong with you? So I just look at him like, and I'm just like, I got this look on my face. It looks like I just smelled a big pile of shit. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I just walked away. I go, okay. I go, Jim, I can't. You're over 18 years old. You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to be a professional video game player, you be a professional video game player, but you can't do it in my house. What? Yeah, no. I cannot encourage this fucking behavior. I will not enable you. You may be a professional video game player, but you not under my roof. So you can either live here or not. I'm giving you a choice. You pick. A week passed, and he gave up the dream. Thank God. Oh, Jim. Now he's the kid. You know, I'm so proud of him. That was a rough patch. There's no question. But now, I mean, the best part, he stayed with Aubrey. And he's got my beautiful grandkids, and he's working his ass off, and they're figuring it out against all odds. Even Diana and I were like, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. It lasted. It's lasted. And then some. It's been 10 years. Good for them. Good for them. Very, very happy. I'm very impressed with them. You know, how often do you hear about young people having kids very young in life, and then they end up separating, and then the poor kids, it's kind of like a weird scenario for them. Not these two. Nuh-uh. Now watch, I'm going to get done with this podcast, and I'm going to get a text from Jim. We went our separate ways. I'm like, no, don't tell me that, you fuck. China says if you are under 18, you are only allowed to play video games 3 hours a week. The government says this. This is gold. China is my new favorite country in the world. Yeah, you've got the human rights violations and the abuse and grinding up the bodies in Tiananmen Square in recent history, late 80s. Yeah, you know, there's that. I'm not going to get bogged down with the details of that nonsense. This is the new gold standard. The government telling you that if you're under 18, you cannot play any more than 3 hours of video games per week. We need to do this here in America. The law has been laid down. Kids can only play on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and national holidays, and only between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on those days. This is serious. Holy shit. And they can do this. They can make it access to online games now requires real name verification and a login system. And gaming companies can only allow youth players their 3 hours of service within those small windows of time. So can you imagine if you're your American kid who's probably people listening who have this right now are suddenly told you can only play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and national holidays. And in China, a national holiday is probably the day that they honored the Tiananmen Square massacre when they killed all those students from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on those days. And 3 hours total per week. Reaction to the new rules has been mixed. Okay. That means there are some that are saying, yeah, we need this. And that's bullshit. They're just saying that because they're going to get shot in the face if they don't. Some Beijing parents told CBS News they agreed that their children's time was better spent exercising or studying, while others criticized the move as government overreach into family life. Whatever. Yeah, maybe. But I say this is great. We need to implement this in the United States. 18 and under, 3 hours a day. Get these fucking brats outside. Get them moving. Shit, man. I had a world without video games. I had Atari, which that entertained us. Even back then, you realized it was shit after your hand starts hurting from moving that fucking joystick around, and then you hit adolescence, you just want to stick it in your asshole. Sucks so bad. We'd go out, we'd play fucking baseball from morning till night, every fucking day. Baseball, baseball, baseball. It's all we did. And we'd play Assassin. That was a game. I talked about that fucking game. You had a game master. You take 50 names, draw the first name out, draw the second name out. Second name has to, in air quotes, kill the first name. Third name has to kill the second name. Fourth name has to kill the third name. Nobody knows who has to kill who except for the game master. If you kill somebody, you let the game master know, and then he's going to give you the next person in line that you got to kill. Last guy standing wins the pot. You put $10 in, big time cash on the line. You got to kill them with either a dart gun or poison. Poison could be you put Vaseline on the doorknob of their car or their house or whatever. They touch it, they're dead. Honor system. You can't cheat. Fucking great. People don't do that shit. Now, I know it sounds like an old man, but fuck it. I don't give a shit. The policy is part of a bigger push by Beijing to control not only personal habits, but to rein in the overwhelming influence that technology has suddenly claimed in Chinese society. You know, we love this, the Unabomber. The Unabomber hates technology. He doesn't even like the mechanical industrial revolution. He wants us with horse and buggy. He'd be like, I'm all for this. Again, I still can't escape that documentary I saw about him. Man, it was fucking interesting. He was right about a lot of things. That's right. Eric agreed with the Unabomber today on the podcast. The government's motivations go beyond just protecting kids. Electronic drugs and digital detox. Chinese state media had telegraphed the government's frustration in the weeks leading up to the new policy by comparing video games to electronic drugs and spiritual opium. This is true. Eliciting memories of the 1800s when millions of Chinese became addicted to smoking opium during the country's opium wars with the UK. No industry can be allowed to destroy a generation. More than 6 in 10 Chinese minors play video games online frequently, according to Chinese state media. Well, this is just going to be a crazy-ass thing. These kids are going to want to risk their lives. And what they need to do is they need to have like a governing body that if you play 1 minute more, the screen should turn dark with like a Grim Reaper saying, you're next. Look outside your window. And they just slaughter people in the street if they break the law. If you are a kid breaking a video game law in China, the only way this will work if there is a swift, severe, and certain punishment. So slaughtering on the family. I can't even fucking finish the joke. It's so stupid. Holy shit. Right now, about 30 boys and girls are living in a facility. It is a structured boot camp style, trying to detox these fucking brats, full of exercising and counseling. You know, the counseling in China is just, if you touch that fucking video game controller, we're going to cut your dick off. Man. All right. China, once again, leading the charge. This needs to happen in the U.S. I hope and pray that this, along with vaccination, forced vaccinations, happen within the next week. Doors kicked in, 2 shots right into your face, and a tattoo, actually a brand that says you were vaccinated. That is the only way we are going to be able to move forward as a society. Mark it down. Speaking of vaccination, dumb fuck Joe Rogan is in the news. One of America's biggest idiots, but in fact, not stupid, will be discussed. I will feature that on the Patreon and give you the background of why He is one of the stupidest people on the planet. He should actually be arrested for the amount of misinformation he's spreading. Fuck Joe Rogan. I'll also talk about, remember the name Mike Richards, Jeopardy? What a fucking month for this guy. I will detail that. That comes up on my Patreon, which I want you to sign up for. Now, look, every podcast in the world except mine sucks dick. So the only way to make it through the day is by getting more of me. If you've enjoyed this, and I know you have, I want you to consider my Patreon. Most assholes on Patreon give you 1 or 2 one-hour shows per month. That's bullshit. They're lazy. I give you 15 hours a week. Finish up this podcast and listen to the content on my Patreon. You need to go nowhere else. All of the audio archive and upcoming shows is $5 a month. What? Incredible. Let's do the math on that. Bust out the calculator. If we're doing 60 hours, how many minutes is that? 60 times 60. That is 3,600 minutes per month. Divided by 5. Right? No. Fuck. I'm going to give this up because I'm too stupid to figure out the math about how many cents per minute you will pay. Fucking embarrassing. Well, anyway, that's the type of programming you'll get on my Patreon. You know what I meant. There's a lot there. I recommend probation. Give me the $5. Check it out. If it sucks, cancel it, and big deal. You're out $5. You get the rest of that month. But if you like it, you have options. You can either let it ride each month, or you can convert it to a yearly, and I will reward you with 10% off for the year. That's for the $5 audio only tier. You can also do the $10 all audio and video and live streams. That's up to you. There you go. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. We're going to get to the asshole of the day. I found my Sharpie in mere moments. Send me your suggestions on the live chat. God bless Rick at TC Paintball. If you want to book a fun, amazing time, so much fun, gather up your pals from work, gather up your relatives, whoever it may be. Maybe it's a bachelor party. What a unique bachelor party. Knock back a bunch of drinks and play paintball at TC Paintball. Book a party. Go to tcpaintballgr.com if you are in West Michigan and get on it. You're going to have so much fun. All right. Wednesday is Little League Day. 5 p.m. Kids get out of school, get the gang, go to TC Paintball, be there by 5. Why is it Little League? Because you use the low impact guns. So, because frankly, you use the higher impact guns, it leaves a welt. I got one here that you might still be able to see. I wonder if you can see that on the screen here. Look at that bad boy. It looks terrible. It hurt for about 10 seconds. So anyway, tcpaintballgr.com, book a party, and off you go. Kids got, like I said, low-impact guns on Wednesdays. Bringing up the rear, the immortal Joe Martinez, the man who brought us forbidden Spanish so long ago.
Tu madre es una puta.
That's right. You can call Joe anytime and say that to him. Call or text. Tu madre es una puta.
Tu madre es una puta.
That means your mother's a whore. Tell Joe Martinez to madre es una puta, and you will save 0% on a service call. Air conditioning, furnace, you name it, A&E Heating and Cooling. The air is getting crisp at night. It won't be long till you need a furnace tune-up. 616-516-8579 for anything at all. Heating and cooling. You have a guy in West Michigan. It is the immortal Joe Martinez.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Go fuck yourself, too. All right. Let us get into the world-famous asshole of the day. Joe Martinez says, where's the other one I sent you? I never did. I got it, but I never put it into the my little system here. I forgot what you said. I'll look it up and make it happen. Famous last words. All right. Asshole of the day nominations. We got a nomination for yesterday's bad boy, Incognito, for being funny and engaging first, then turning into a hateful asshole. I'm seeing Zane is mathing, LOL. Kyle with the comment, 15 hours on Patreon and no around the room. Sounds like great programming. Well, the bar is low. My God. Real quick, before, not this most recent week, but the week before, somebody sent me audio of those clowns on my old show justifying their choice of content. You know, boring and shitty. And it was one of the most awful, self-serving things I'd heard in a long, long time. Make no mistake. When we were together, the show was hungry and wanting to entertain people. Me leaving did not cause it to become shitty. I've said this before. My final 2 years there was shit. The show became shit. We were shitty. It's continued down that road, despite the fact that they have an Ace and TJ amount of staff on that show. It is Ace and TJ North. That's what that show has become. What a fucking disaster. My God. Stevie says, I listened on my drive in. I encourage that. I want you to listen and then let them know what you think of it. She says, I could only stand 2 minutes. They did the Jimbo on the harmonizer bit. Oh, God. Adam says, sounds like your comments are getting back to them. Excellent. Metal up their ass. Jake writes, they're still going down. Yeah, I believe it. Around the room. You guys are so fucking boring. There is nothing. You guys have no engagement whatsoever. It's so fucking boring. Everything. Well, we need to introduce the audience so that they know who we are. Who gives a fuck? Just do something entertaining and they'll figure it out. Ugh. I'm actually telling you this as a service. Stop being shitty. You were so much better. Go find that. No conflict in the room. Nothing. Let's go around the comments. I'm Adam, and I just got off the elliptical. Boom. Melissa writes, I'm Melissa, and I enter numbers in spreadsheets. Eric's asshole for taking a pic of little girls' addresses and not deleting it. Oh, you're right. I did do that. I'm free beer, and I'm a snarky a-hole. Adam Knapp says, do you know Tim Barron? Yeah, I don't know him. I know who he is. Lansing. I don't know what the fuck he does now. I'm Terry, and I'm a douchebag. I'm Hot Wings, and I'm boring. Joshua says it's best of again this week. They're on vacation again. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Every fucking day is the same thing. It's a cookie cutter show. It's fucking horrible. And the overlapping. Oh my God. Fuck me right in the butt. The overlapping by Greg. He's the worst of it. Ooh. I'm so sorry you have to put up with that. You know what you need to do? You need to slowly wean yourself off of it. Just let it go. Just subscribe to the Patreon. That's all you got to do. All right, folks. Ben fucked up the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast this week because he went and recorded with fucking Lurch, for the 8 people that listen to that. His priorities are all messed up, in my opinion. So I won't have that for you this week, and I am taking Labor Day off. Here I am bitching about how Freeburn Hot Wings have no work ethic, and I'm telling you that I won't be here on Monday. You'll have the Lost Zane recordings, and I will talk to you with a fresh show on Tuesday. The asshole of the day, I almost forgot. Let's see. Where the hell am I? Anybody have any suggestions here? A lot of comments today. Thank you so much, folks. You're a great audience. All right, I guess I'm on my own here. Referring to Jim as a pizzaologist. My son, fantastic. Jim, I'm going to give Jim an asshole of the day nomination just because I went back in time. I'm butthurt all over again about the professional video game player. Brad Holmes of the Detroit Lions general manager didn't even know who Trinity Benson was. The Lions are assholes. I love them, but they're assholes. Bill Simonson's an asshole of the day because he picked the Lions to win 9 games. Kids telling me I can't see. I'm blind. E-Rock's house flooded. I'll be on Compound Media very shortly. I'll keep you updated on that. Dumbasses who kill themselves by bringing the generators inside. The NFK needed a gentle reminder about washing his asshole. A dumb fuck jumped onto a bed of barbed wire. In Hong Kong, they've got the right idea by banning video games. And we finished the show with a well-deserved beat-up of my old show. Who could it possibly be? I don't know. I'm kind of stuck here. All right. Terry, that's very kind. It's a holiday, dipshit. No one works harder than you at your craft. Well, you know what? You made my day with that, young man. I appreciate that. I think I'm going to go with... All right, the decision has been made. By the way, I kind of always am an asshole of the day. All right. The asshole of the day is brought to you by TC Paintball, online at tcpaintballgr.com. And JM Synthetics. Let's keep Jason a sponsor of the show. By when you need any type of lubrication, you get it from Jason Mays. Amsoil products. That's how Amsoil gets their products out into the world, is through distributors. That's Jason. Go to jmsynthetics.com. Pick out what you want. You can buy it right from the site. But if you really want to help out Jason, call him at 616-747-0233 and say, this is what I want, Jason. And then it shows up at your door. Asshole of the day. Dead generator people. You have to be. You got dead kids in America. It's terribly sad, but you're still an asshole. To be that stupid, there's asshole points there. So, there you go. The dead generator people, they are your asshole of the day. Thanks to, God, who reached out to me? I forgot. Then Andrew reached out to me about my microphone being all weird. Shit like that, like I talked about before. He's given me some tips about my equipment, and I might be able to get that worked out here. Easier said than done. So thank you very much, folks. It's been a great week. I love you very much. You are the absolute best. I cannot believe my job is to sit here and be an asshole every single day. Thank you to Bill for taking the time to join me on my show. Make sure you check Bill out at going to be doing the show from 3 to 6 today at Mission Barbecue on the Beltline, the East Beltline. If you are in West Michigan, go see Bill and tell him that Eric Zane said he's an asshole for saying Lions are going to win 9 games this year. Mission Barbecue on the East Beltline with Fuckface. Okay, till next time, folks. Have a great one. Enjoy your day off. Hopefully you get one. If not, that's a bummer. But till then, talk to you on the Patreon. Bye-bye.